Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This isn't really a podcast. It's not a Green Glow chat either. It's Joe.
How you doing?
Yeah, we're in the same place. We're in the same car. We're in Joe's car. We're in Salt Lake City. We are at the reason why I say Green Glow chat is because we're at an Electrify America. You said you broke number 5 and number 6 might die soon.
Number 6 is already broken, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
At least handle 1 was.
Yep.
And number 5, I think, might be unavailable after this charge.
Okay. I don't know why I was sat in the car the whole time trying to set up the camera, but it's been a while. We still love you, to both of our listeners. We really do. But
actually, while I was in Phoenix, I added a couple more. We may be up to 3 or 4.
3 or 4 what?
Listeners.
Oh yeah, no, I see that. It's climbing. I don't track it. I have a list of things I care about. Yeah, I thought we'd do a bit of a catch up. Is that what that's for? Is that actually 4 cards?
Yeah.
I thought it was ventilation. Well, there you go. I'm learning all the time. Sorry, I never noticed the 2 slots in the front of the console were card sized.
And one is sized for like a full size card, and the other one is sized for like a charge point card.
Oh, well, there you go. Just in case the app's not working. Actually, that was worth having for what we were going to do.
Yeah.
So, first of all, let's cover this off. It is, as we record this, the 19th of May. We are in Salt Lake City. We did not do our Highway 50 adventure. Unfortunately, my father-in-law is having health issues, and had to make a very tough decision. When did I call you, on Monday?
Yeah.
It was pretty late, right?
Yep, Monday evening, yep.
Yeah, Monday evening. I said, I'll call you. Don't leave wherever the hell you
Don't
were.
leave Vegas.
Don't leave Vegas before I speak to you. Yeah, because I didn't want you to have to go across 80 without any reason.
Not to be stuck in Winnemucca.
Yes. Actually, maybe not now, because we've got the new Livewire 120 charges to the south. You can avoid Winnemucca, which is not a bad thing. As a lesson in life, avoid Winnemucca. And if one of our 4 listeners does live there, why? Just why? Other death traps are available. I wouldn't want to be reliant upon that Walmart's electrical supply for my transportation needs. But anyway, I digress. I think there'll be a lot of digressing today. So, unfortunately, we had to cancel it at somewhat the last minute. He's not. This is how bad the hair is. If you're wondering, it's bad. It was a late night and an early morning. I think we'll keep the hat on for now. Vanity's everything. So, unfortunately, a tough decision had to be made. I had a commitment, a professional commitment this weekend. You're coming to the show on Friday night, right?
Yep. So
I'm opening for Tony Hinchcliffe at Wise Guys all weekend, and my father-in-law was well enough that we don't need to worry about that right now. So yeah, no Highway 50. We'll have to come up with something, another stupid adventure in the future. I don't know when, but at some point in the future. But it's so long since we've done this. We need to do a bit of a catch-up. So I know you've been recording lots of your trips. I don't know what you've actually put up yet.
Oh, this won't go up until a month from now, probably.
Okay. We'll give them the quick version. So we actually saw each other, but we didn't record anything because we didn't have time. 2 weeks ago in Phoenix. Yeah. We were both in Phoenix for Cinco de Mayo. I was there with Tony Hinchcliffe and Joe Rogan, opening for them at Stand Up Live. And Joe was there on a trip, for want of a word.
Vacation, working
remotely, all that good stuff. So he came to one of the shows, and we saw each other briefly, but he had plans, and I had plans, so we didn't spend much time together. We didn't do any videos or recording anything. And then you've been driving around the Southwest for a while and enjoying a trip.
Yep.
if you've been following my Twitter, Big Brit John, you'll know that we now have a second EV, and I will be putting the collection video up from this, planning to get it done over this weekend and uploaded shortly. So, huge, not a surprise. The regular EV family has a second full EV. The Volvo XC60 is gone, or is going shortly. And it has been replaced with an Audi e-tron.
The proper one.
The proper one, a real e-tron. Well, if you're in Europe, you call it a 55. We only get that one version. It's a Premium Plus in the dark blue with the brown interior. It has all the options you can have on a Premium Plus. We didn't go for Prestige because I couldn't justify that much money, and also shortage of supply. For vibrating seats and a head-up display. And
you got it for sticker, right?
I paid sticker price for it, yes.
Which many people have said, and we continue to say, if the dealer near you does not offer the vehicle for sticker, find another one. Someone does.
So, all right, all right, we'll go into this. And I apologize. If you watch the video, you'll find out more about this, because I know I talked about it in the video that's going up shortly. So the situation, it was a weird confluence of events that came together. What's really strange is that Kyle from Out of Spec bought the same damn car like 2 weeks later.
I saw that.
And for pretty much the same reasons as well. So I had some good, I know a few people I had some good fortune. The company I used to work for was acquired. And my shares were compulsory purchased, and I have a large tax bill. And the US tax code has its own peculiarities, and so the Audi is now my company vehicle. And it weighs 6,100 pounds. And if you don't know about Section 179, Google it. We needed to get. It made sense to make this transaction happen now so that we could put what was going to be quite a few miles, and we've got some trips coming up over the rest of the summer and fall where it's going to be useful. And the cost of gas is the cost of gas. I think I did a joke video where I filled up my wife's XC60, and I didn't even fill the tank before the credit card actually maxed out. You know, $75 was the maximum you could put in it at the time. Raising the amount you can buy to $100 doesn't actually change the gas price you're paying. Just in case anyone thought you're not helping with that situation. You bet you're just anyway.
It cost me $27 to fill a Harley in Phoenix. That's how bad things are getting.
Wow.
But it's cost me less than $10 to get from Chicago to Memphis to El Paso to Phoenix to now up here in Salt Lake City.
Let me guess. You went to Interstate 80. You went to the truck stop at 80.
Which one? Oh, no. The one I paid was to get from Southern Illinois to Memphis. There's 2 charge point units. There's no Electrify America down there.
I've got you. I'll talk about charging in a minute. But yeah, so I went and so the local dealer to me, they had an e-tron that was roughly the spec that we were looking for. It was black with a blue. His license plate is golf cart. Sorry, we're just watching an Ionic pull out of a charging space. His number plate is golf cart. That's rather amusing. We just saw, what was the other? The C40, yeah. Black C40 over. I do like the C40.
Yeah, especially in that blue, and then you get the blue interior carpet.
I think the person driving it had a blue carpet. Anyway, that was rude. That was rude. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. They're doing more for the planet than we are. Yeah, the local dealer. But they said. And I tweeted about it, and I go to I did it on a real what's my name, RegularEVDad. Go to Twitter and you can see this. I actually tweeted the email I got from the dealer at Audi Palo Alto. Yes, I will call you out. Who sent me an email saying that they were being very reasonable only charging me, I can't remember now, I think it was $10,000, $10,000 over list, as other dealers will charge up to 25. I've only murdered one prostitute, but Peter Sutcliffe murdered 25, so that's way worse. I'm sorry, but the fact that you're justifying this, anyway, my wife had a look at it, and she took it for test drive. She really liked it, but she did say, I'd really like it in blue with the brown interior. And I wanted to get the Premium Plus for a couple of reasons. It was the right decision. One of the bad reasons, but ultimately good reasons, is the fact that it's got chargers on both sides. Just level 2 charging. You can only DC charge on the left, on the driver's side, but there is level 2 charging on the right side, on the passenger side, and that's just really convenient for our situation at home, not having to turn cars around all the time. And there were some other functions in there that just made, pretty good value. Audi of North Atlanta. So I went into the Audi. I'll give Audi this. They have a great website for looking at stock and what's around and there were 16 vehicles in stock that had that specification, that were the right color combinations and the trim. There's a few options on options, but just ballpark 16. Biggest issue was finding one with the kids airbag. Believe it or not, there's a $400 airbag option for the rear. That's an option. Why would you spend that much money and not have it? I cannot think of a situation where you don't want the airbags. But anyway, and as I can't remember if this one comes. I think it does come with it.
I'm still amazed that safety features are options at this point on cars.
Well, that was one of our things. Is I wanted it's not self-driving, but I did want the lane holding assist and radar and everything.
Effectively travel assist.
Yeah, basically, because to not have that on the vehicle at this point is ridiculous. When me and my wife are driving, as soon as we go out of town, we either are tootling around town or we're going somewhere, and it just makes sense to have it. So Audi of North Atlanta had it. A deal was done. They actually had possession. It had come into the port a few days earlier, and it was with their transport company, so he knew it would land out the dealership in a few days. I'd had some changes to my professional schedule, and I wasn't going to be going to Baltimore anymore, but my wife was going on a personal trip for spring break with the kid and going to a dog show. I was going to just stay at home with the dogs. It all came together just randomly that I had this time spare. The dog sitter was available. So on the Friday, my family flew out to the East Coast earlier in the week. Must have been Tuesday.
This was late April, I think, right?
Yeah. This was right the 17th, I think. No, it was late. It was the end of April, right? It was the end of April. 17th must have been around Easter, so yeah, this was after Easter. I flew to Atlanta. Thank you, United, for screwing that up. And I picked it up first thing Saturday morning. The dealership was great. Fantastic experience, great team, no messing around, no screwing around with the price. I asked them for a couple of things. I have a sponsor. I was going to have it PPF'd, and then I chose not to because I've got a sponsor that wants to PPF the car. And so we didn't do that. They were very good. They didn't put holes in the front of my car for the plate. I will be, I haven't got plates yet, but when they do come, I'm going to do the magnet thing on the screw-in, on the toe thing. There's just no nice way of screwing a plate to the front of an Audi e-tron. It just...
So within the last couple of days, came across Illinois is finally going to get rid of front plates. And they said how many millions of dollars a year it's going to save and just not printing an extra plate. And why every state hasn't followed that, I can't figure out. Making every good car look ugly.
Yeah, it's a thing. So I picked it up Saturday morning. I was there for about an hour while we took care of stuff, and then I drove to New Orleans. And you can follow this. There's a video on this I'll give you the short version. Drove to New Orleans. I did a show there. Not a huge surprise. Then I drove to this place called Austin, Texas. You may have heard me talk about it in the past. Had dinner with Joe Rogan. Little humble brag there. And did shows there, and then did a show Monday, and those were 600-mile days. Buying a car and doing 600 miles day 1 and day 2 is not something you should do, but we kind of, this is our thing. And then it was 1,000-mile days. So I did the Bjorn 1,000-mile thing. So I drove to. I didn't go to Phoenix. What's before Phoenix? Tucson. I drove to Tucson.
Calculating how big my 1,037 miles was my day from Fort Worth to Phoenix.
1,000 and how many?
1,037.
Okay, that's interesting. 1,037. I reckon this is within a mile or two of...
From step on the city you want to change, Fort Worth.
Change that to Austin. Yeah. We'll talk about it. Anyway, they're both exactly just like a handful of miles over 1,000 miles. Those are long days. The Austin to Phoenix one was actually easier than the last one, which was, well, not Phoenix, it was, I went to Tucson.
You know what I found out why that's better? 2 hours of time zone change on the drive. You get one going into New Mexico and then another one when you cross into Arizona.
That's true. But let me say right now, the Audi e-tron, I could have driven another 1,000 miles. And in fact, I did. Crazy thing is, I got home on Tuesday. What is it? I got home on Thursday. Because I had, whatever happened, I can't remember the situation. I had to get home on, I left on Tuesday morning. I had to get home on Wednesday night. Didn't matter what, because I had to take my kid to school on Thursday. There was something going on. I had to be there to do that. I was home for 4 days. And then we had a slight emergency with my dog. And I had to drive him to Portland on Monday and did another 700 miles there and then 700 miles back the next day. And the e-tron just handles it like a goddamn boss. It's so comfortable, Joe. You cannot. It's a better version of this and so much more. It's just so comfortable. It's a pleasure to drive. It's heavier. It's thirstier. I was getting 2 miles. I'm going to say, let's see your data. I get 2.1 is my average. You get 2.6 in this. That's not bad. So, but it's also weighs a third as much as this. Again, this is 4,000 pounds.
Right.
That thing's 6,100 pounds. But the charging.
And all-wheel drive.
And all-wheel drive. But the charging curve, Joe. It's 150 from naught. But actually, it's 138 to 152 from naught to 80%, and then it drops down.
Yeah, now we're at 61% right now, and we've already dropped all the way down to 79 kilowatts. So
yeah,
it hurts.
It does. So anyway, videos to come on that. You'll see those at RegularEVDad. So that happened. What else happened?
So then you went to Phoenix after the dog trip.
Yeah, then I went to Phoenix, but that was just comedy. And well, I gave you the charging cables, but for the trip we never did. Yeah, so Joe's got my Tesla chargers, right? My Tesla chargers and all the adapters.
I did use those though. The one house I was staying at, the dryer was conveniently right next to the garage door. So
and don't we love the fact that this thing has got a 20-foot cable on it?
Yeah,
it's fantastic. I will say that the portable charger that comes with the Audi is really good.
Is that a dual?
It is. It comes. You can pull the thing out, but it's got a 110 and a 50 amp. I'm going to find out if they do a 30 amp version of that. If they do, I'm going to I'll buy it and put it in the front. Yeah, I've already, you know, on the first weekend we had it, we went to a dog. I can't remember the situation, but my wife. That's right. My wife was going to a dog show in Modesto. I don't know. No, Turlock. I think it was Turlock. Anyway, somewhere in the Central Valley, and I had no choice but to. So she took my car. She wasn't ready to drive the Audi at that point, because we hadn't been able to get the app set up for her and things like that. It takes Audi a while to do those things. And but yeah, no, I drove out to see her with the bug with the kiddo, and I'm like, oh look, RV spot. So I just plugged it in. The charger is basically, if you've seen the Taycan one, which has actually got Android running in it.
You mean? Yeah.
Yeah. This is the same thing, but without the screen. But it's the same charger, but not quite as fancy. But it is substantial, and you can screw. And one of the things I like about it is you can actually put a screw in to make the connection between the charging brick and the 50 amp or the whatever you've done permanent, so that you can not, because once the car's got hold of it, it will not let go. But only, can you believe it? I did 3,400 miles, I think, in that thing. I only had, I think, one bad charging experience on the whole trip. That's not true. One where it didn't perform. And I will be, if I probably talked about this in the video that you'll see coming out. No one's allowed to not. You should, if you live east of New Mexico, why don't you have an electric car? And why don't you have an e-tron? So I have to pay. I only get 250 kilowatts of free juice with my car. You pay by the minute in Texas.
Yeah, it comes out to something like 10 cents a kilowatt.
It's crazy. When you're still pulling 120, you're paying less than 10 cents a kilowatt. It's just charging so fast. It just absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I was like filling the battery for less than $7. And then as soon as I went from New Mexico into Arizona, I hit Western pricing. I'm like, $25. So it's still cheaper than the electric. And you got to remember that the price you pay for the gas and the electric is only part of the package. You've also got lower cost of maintenance and all those other things. But that's enough talking from me.
So on this drive, I had a couple chargers that were a little slow. In El Paso, it was a disaster. There was 4 cars there, and only 2 of the chargers worked. While I was in Phoenix, I had a couple chargers broke at the local charger, so by the end of the 2 weeks there was always a line that was forming pretty much around rush hour every day. But the worst was I said there was 2 charge point, like 50 kilowatt units in Missouri that I had to hit going from Southern Illinois to Memphis. The first one was only delivering like 35 kilowatt. I'm like, something's wrong here, so I'll just leave and go to the next one since PlugShare had good reviews. I show up to the next one, it's dead. both 50 kilowatt units dead. And then there was 2 level 2 plugs next to that. Those were dead too. So I had enough electricity to get to some power company in Arkansas that happened to have one charge point plug, and it was free. So I plugged the thing in, and 4 days later came back and picked up the car. So thankfully my parents were tagging along in their van, went down to Mississippi with them, came back and got the car in Memphis, or just south of Memphis. And that was an experience.
I had an interesting one. So when I drove up to Portland, and I was looking at the cost of this was the Audi again. I'm paying 31 cents a kilowatt. I have Pass Plus. I pay that $4 a month to Electrify America. But there's a PG&E install of 4 charge point 62.5s, which say they'll go to 125. They go to 82. and only when the pack voltage is high. And they wanted 20 cents a kilowatt. I was like, well, I can charge slower, for less, and take the dog for a 1 hour walk. So we had walkies both ways in Reading. A nice setup, by the way, in a park. It was great place for DC fast chargers. Not one I would have thought of, but thinking's not what I'm good at.
Yeah, one of the times when I was in line in Phoenix, a guy in an Audi pulls up and he said, "Oh, just down the street there's some EVgo units." I look up and it's like 30 cents a kilowatt hour. I'm like, I'll wait my 15 minutes extra, and I'll still probably be done charging faster than what the EVgos would have taken, and free.
So let's bring this to some kind of a close. So anything else going on in your EV world?
Not much. The only other funny thing we were thinking about is when you said we might have been able to use a Rivian to get across 50.
Yes.
We started calculating at 45 kilowatt peak speed because of pack voltage. How many hours, days we would spend charging a 130 kilowatt hour battery.
Yeah, we really did want to do this, but unfortunately my father-in-law, it was a terrible situation. It's not going to get better anytime soon, but it is what it is. I'll mention it now. I may be getting a Rivian. There's a maybe on that one. Friend of mine, his time has come to the queue. His personal situation's changed, so I may be buying it. I've got to look at the guy. It wasn't the plan. I got other things going on right now, but we will see. I'm intrigued. I'm watching the reviews of the F-150 Lightning.
That's on my shopping list.
I'm interested. If Kyle does manage to put together, or the Kilowatts do put together a group buy. Problem is delivery time. You're not going to get it for a year and a half, so I don't know. And I'm not paying it.
I think my best luck is to find someone's reject at a dealer.
Yeah, right. We'll see. I'm putting you on the spot here. Do you want to meet people tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right. We're in Salt Lake City. You want to do it here?
Sam's Club.
All right. Tomorrow. I got to get a nap before we do this stuff, so I'm thinking tonight's not going to be until like 12.
Yeah.
12:30.
Yeah. Be
polite. Friday the 20th at the Electrify America Sam's Club. We're not going to use the charge. Well, people will charge, but there's loads of spaces on this site. I'll tweet. You'll tweet. We'll put a community post on both of our YouTubes. Be great to come in. Great to see you. And yeah, I would say come and see the show at Wise Guys this weekend, but sold out. So if you didn't buy a ticket already, I can't help you. And I don't think there's going to be space to add a show. So yeah, sorry. If you do see this, if we get this out, we're not going to get this out in the next hour. I was going to say you can see me tonight at Club 90 in Sandy, but that ain't going to happen. So I'm going to close out that show. Just in case I get this out really quickly, I will be at Club 90 at Sandy tonight, but I'm going on stage around 7 o'clock, which is
3 hours.
3 hours from now. So yeah, highly unlikely. You want to hit the brake and start the air conditioning again? I don't know if you noticed this, but we're in the friggin' desert. It's hot.
Within 30 seconds, it got really warm.
Yeah, literally the AC turned off and it'd be hot. Just like, yeah. Hey, from both of us, we're going to put this on both of. Are you okay to put this on your channel?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll put this on both our channels as well as on the podcast channel. Please. Subscribe to both of them. One of the reasons why we're spending time together right now is we're planning what's happening next with both of our channels, and all the extra content and all the other stuff. So
vehicle purchases.
Purchases. Yeah, I stopped. I didn't quit my job. My company got sold and I got paid out. But,
I'll say right now, if you end up getting a Rivian, I'll make sure that I get an F-150, and there'll be a lot of.
We'll do that.
Yeah,
we'll do that. And on that bombshell. Thanks for listening and watching and all that craziness.
And we're at 80%.
And we're at 80%. Look at us. Look at that for timing. I said, well, let's not stay here that long, but, I start talking, shit happens. Yeah, thanks for being subscribers. It means a huge amount. Hit that like button. Hit all the buttons. Just whack at them until you feel better about yourself. And I'll say goodbye.
Take care until next time.
Have fun.